Josh Huff is out. Bryce Treggs is in. Yeah. But don't get your hopes up too much, Philadelphia. Don't be sipping too much on that Treggs Mad Elf. Eagles Giants this Sunday. It's pretty much a must win. Mike Owens, Jeremy Burton are both here. I'm Adrian Fedke. Let's break down this game and let's talk about the Hufflepuff. Bye-bye.
Well, this is to Josh Huff. Nice knowing you.
I like that, the Treggs Mad Elf.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Don't be sipping on it too much, though. We'll get into that in a second, but let's talk about Huff. Obviously, arrested Tuesday morning. I mean, the guy was about to show up high to a film study. So that right there, I mean, I would have cut him on the spot. But so he's got weed in his car, gun possession, but I mean, he got unlucky. They got pulled over in Jersey instead of Philly. But so that going on, and the 6 hollow bullets. So he's going to get charged for each one of those. He might face some jail time. We'll see. So I mean, do you guys agree with the decision of releasing him?
Oh, I definitely agree with the decision. If I was Doug Peterson, I would have released him right after the incident happened. There's no excuse for that. I mean, weed is one thing, but having a gun in your car, that's a totally different story. And the fact that it was loaded and he had bullets too, totally different story. So I'm surprised that the Eagles actually waited as long as they did to cut him. I think what happened is the Eagles probably found out some more information about the incident. And after they learned what really happened, they decided that he has to go. And obviously, Josh Huff is not a star player. He's a guy that you can get rid of. He's not really going to produce much to your team. I mean, only the past 2 weeks he was producing on special teams. But special teams, they can just plug Wendell Smallwood back there, returning kicks, and probably get about the same output. So that's why the Eagles decided to get rid of Huff. Like we said all along, he's really not great at receiving. They use him more as a running back type of player in the offensive system. So I think with everything that happened, it was an easy decision for the Eagles to make. You get rid of him and you move on. We didn't add anyone at the trade deadline, so we're stuck with what we got. Got to bring up Treggs up and see what he can do. So, our receivers are crap, but, hey, we're stuck with them.
Crap is an understatement.
Every time I heard the name Josh Huff, I just picture Chip Kelly's face. So every time, now I don't have to worry about seeing Chip's ugly fat face up there. Former Duck under Chip, obviously drafted him. He just every time I saw Huff, he reminded me of Chip. He's gone. And I mean, yeah, it was idiotic what he was doing. Coming from his film study, Huffle puffing away over the bridge, windows up, getting that hot box going, but yeah, and his comments are idiotic. First he apologizes and then he says, "Oh, everyone has a gun. Every athlete has a gun." Like, Wentz takes his gun into the parking lot of, with hollow point bullets in it of the NovaCare complex. So, not smart. It's a fine decision for the organization. One thing he did do well, besides kick returns, also on special teams, he was a good gunner. He's always seemed to be down there on returns, be one of the first guys in the action, along with Chris Maragos and others. So he'll plug right in there and see if he can, fill his spot on special teams. It's not star, he was kind of a utility player on offense. Routes, he was limited. So it's not a huge loss statement, and I'm happy we did it.
Yeah, I find it really interesting though. Like just a day ago, Peterson's defending him, saying he's going to play on Sunday, and then a day later, Howie Roseman's at the podium and he's talking about how they came to this decision and it was best for the organization. And he's spewing all this, Howie talk. The way I kind of read it between the lines was, well, the outlash of the incident and all that from the fans, that's pretty much why they got rid of him. That's the way I look at it, because Doug Peterson sat there yesterday at a press conference and said he's going to play. they're going to let the legal situation play itself out. And then all of a sudden, like, they reverse course, and he's gone. So that's what it is. He was actually playing somewhat decently last couple of weeks. Running after the catch. Doug kind of knew how to utilize him decently for his standards. He was still playing like a D+, C- out there. But so that's kind of the way I look at it. So let's talk about Bryce Treggs now. And I'm getting a little bit perturbed by Eagles Twitter and like people on Facebook. All right, listen. He's not going to go out there and catch fucking 10 balls for 150 yards, okay? He's not going to do that. He's not Alan Hearns. He's not Victor Cruz. This is going to take some time. He was an undrafted free agent. He was cut by the 49ers, Chip Kelly's team. That team has just as bad wide receivers as we do. You know what else he didn't do? He didn't catch not once during his 4-year career at California, where he had Jared Goff as quarterback, did he topple 1,000 yards receiving. So what he is he's a one-trick pony. He goes really, really fast. He goes down the field. He's not going to go up and get it. He waits for the ball to come to him. So he's, I like the fact that they're going to trot him out there. I like all this. But, don't expect him to, like, go off or anything. Maybe he'll catch a ball, maybe two, whatever. But, like, don't expect him to just suddenly become one of the top receivers on the team.
Yeah, well, he can run down the field all he wants, but there's going to be a problem because, once he gets past 20 yards, that alarm's going to go off in the stadium, and the Eagles aren't allowed to throw the ball past 20 yards, so it's not going to happen. So he can just keep running in the tunnel if he wants. He's not going to get the ball. No, you can't expect much from this guy. He might catch a pass here or there, but he's obviously not going to be the guy they're targeting. I think that they're going to, hopefully Peterson has went back, looked at the film, and he's realized that they've got to get Zach Ertz involved in the offense somehow. I mean, now more than ever, I think Ertz becomes really almost the main target on a lot of these plays. They got to figure out a way to get him involved or a way to get Selleck involved in the passing game because everyone else, the rest of the receivers just aren't getting it done at this point. So they got to figure out a way to get the tight ends involved more.
We've been saying that every week with Ertz trying to get him involved. It just hasn't materialized yet. Like, I mean, he gets a few targets a game. He's got, I believe, the last 3 games apiece, not toppling over 30 yards apiece in each game. And, he's just, I don't know if there's some chemistry issue with Ertz and Carson. I know Ertz was really close with Bradford. I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, we have to get Ertz involved. He's a huge target. Since our receivers stink, this is an element of the offense that we got to get involved. Right, as far as Bryce Treggs, I mean, he's barely 6 foot, barely $180, maybe $185. He's strictly a one-trick pony, like Adrian said. That much from him. I mean, will he come in there and take one shot with him? Yeah, sure, maybe. But like you said, he's not a big guy. He's not going to go up and fight for the ball like Dorial Green-Beckham should with his size and height. But, we haven't seen that either. So, yeah, it's kind of been a horrible situation for the Eagles wide receivers. We just got to get our offense going. I'll tell you, Bryce Treggs, is not the answer. I mean, he'll fill in for Huff and fill what Huff's role has been, which, isn't much.
Yeah, watch him go out there and, like, kill it and just prove me wrong, which I would love. I really would. But I just feel like people are just getting ahead of themselves too much. Even if they brought up Paul Turner, as much as I love Paul Turner in training camp in the preseason, I mean, even him, I mean, you can't expect much from him either. He doesn't have the size. He doesn't have the speed. Great hands, catches the ball in traffic, outstanding, doing that. But, we got to remember he was doing this against second stringers, third stringers. He wasn't even – I don't even know if he was getting starter snaps in the preseason. So, it's just just temper the expectations. Don't expect too much. Like, Treggs is not the answer. Treggs is not better than Aguilar. He's not better than DGB. There's a reason why he hasn't been up yet. It's not because Doug's an idiot. It's because, I mean, he's just not ready right now. That's all. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
no, you're
you know what I mean.
yeah. I mean, he wouldn't be playing if this situation didn't happen with Huff. So that tells you all need to know. I mean, if you can't beat out Huff, then that says everything there. So yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. I'm not really expecting anything. I mean, who was the white guy with Chip Kelly? Remember the guy we brought him up from like the practice squad, and didn't he have an organ tie or something?
Who are you thinking of?
He played. I think he
Oh,
played in
Derek. No, fuck. I know who you're talking about. And
he
now
played in the Patriots game, didn't he?
hold on. I know who you're talking. The name is escaping me. Somebody help us. Actually,
That's what this. What this situation is like. I mean, this guy is going to come up. He's not going to do much. I mean, he might get a catch here or there, but can't expect much from him.
I'm going to look this.
Hey, you're digging deep for that information. I don't know who he was on our team last year in the Patriots game.
Jeff Mayo.
Jeff
Mayo.
Yep.
Jeff
He's
Mayo.
Yeah. Right, you're right. Number 88 he was.
God, see, that's how
right.
forgetful he is already.
Jeff Mayo. Well, he had some height on him, unlike, Treggs. I mean, I think Mayo was over 6 foot anyway.
I'll tell you, Treggs is fast as fuck, though. I will give him that. Just watch him. He's fast.
Take a shot. Take a shot.
Yeah.
Put him out there. If he gets behind the defense, and if Carson sees single coverage, go route. Like, he will put it, drop it in the basket. Like, he won't need to go up and jump for it. Like, Carson will make that throw. So, if not expecting much out of him, but sure, it's possible. This is a kid undrafted, of guys undrafted that, come in, that mostly they have a chip on their shoulder. They want to prove themselves. So this is his chance, and he knows it. So I bet you they'll have a couple plays for him. He's been practicing with the first team. We heard going back at least 2 weeks ago. So obviously have some plays for him. So I think this is he's going to get a shot. So hopefully it works out.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he provides a little bit more than Jonathan Krause. Jonathan Krause, he didn't get as much buzz as Treggs did, but Krause was another guy. People wanted to bring him up, and he didn't really do anything. So, let's talk about something that I've been hearing. We've been saying, we want them to take more shots down the field. And the argument that I keep hearing, well, the Eagles don't have the receivers to take shots down the field. And while that is true, I mean, somewhat, we have Carson Wentz on our team. And I am sick and tired of Doug handling him like he's fucking Alex Smith. He's Carson Wentz, damn it. Let him be Carson Wentz. Unlock the chains, please. Take the lock off of him. So, here's my point, okay? Our receivers suck. We know this. They create minimal separation. I know this. But god damn it, people. Do we, already forget those first 2 touchdowns he threw? Those windows were pretty damn tight, right? Remember that. Jordan Matthews, Nelson Aguilar. Remember that big 54-yard bomb to Jordan Matthews, too? In the Redskins game down the seam? Dropped it right in the bucket. Didn't even have to break stride. But no, the receivers aren't good enough. God damn it. Carson Wentz is good enough. Damn it. That's all I got to say about that. So people that are calling me idiots, you don't get it.
Yeah, it's simple. I mean, you go back and you look at the first 3 games when we started out 3-0. The Eagles, they handed the ball to Carson Wentz, and you said, you go out there, Carson, you get the job done, and he got it done. And now it's like the Eagles have they're taking a step backwards with them, and now they're saying, "Oh, you did great, Carson, but now we're going to take the keys away from you, even though you did an outstanding job." So now they're just playing conservative football with Carson. You got to let the guy go out there, let him throw the ball deep, let him be a gunslinger. I don't even care if he's going to throw interceptions deep down the field. I would like to at least see him attempt some passes down the field. And he showed, especially early on in the season, those first 3 games, especially in that first game against the Browns, he showed that he's got the ability to do it. So you just got to let him go out there and play ball.
It was unbelievably frustrating just knowing the plays we were going to run. You might run the ball first down. Okay, a little flat. All right, 3rd and long, little slant for 6 yards and punt. Like, we knew throwing were these little slants for 5 yards. I mean, we know what Carson can do. He can throw it 60 yards without blinking. I mean, you have to, whether, our receivers are not that great, but keep the defense honest. You can't become so predictable.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to take a shot, 2 or 3 a game. You have to, or else you fall into a predictable offense, and they know what you're going to call. And big reason why we have 3 losses. I think he's gotten too conservative, and Doug has, and not being aggressive like he had in the first 3 wins. We were 3-0. So, hopefully, as crushing as the Dallas loss was, and we had the game, 2 road divisional games in a row. Majority of us realistically thought we would split these. So now this is the must-win this weekend. Beat a Bull Giants team, get to Eli, get in Odell's head. We've dominated the Giants in recent years. You can't go 0-3 in the division. So hopefully this was a huge learning experience. We saw a lot of rookie coach mistakes, decisions, questionable. So even Doug said this is a loss that you can learn from. So prove it this week, Sunday, 1 o'clock.
Oh, I hated watching that press conference. It pissed me off, dude. Fucking pissed me off. He was trying to defend himself on everything.
Oh.
But we watched the game together, Jeremy and I, and we're calling the plays before it even happened. Might as well bring Chip back. If shit's gonna get that predictable. So it just the 2nd and 1. I've said this on the prior shows. I've been saying it all week. 2nd and 1 is the down and distance to go deep. No more fucking screen passes. No more.
No, well, Josh Huff is in here.
Well, they throw it to Jordan Matthews. He's not a guy that can catch a screen pass and run after the catch. He's not quick and jittery. He doesn't have that type of skill set. God. Can't catch the ball either. Jesus. He hasn't. Well, he doesn't catch the easy ones. Catches the hard ones. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what do you think they have to do in the running game? Let's get to the running game now. Because Darren Sproles, season high, fourth most carries of his career. He had 15 last week. Season high, obviously, as well. So do they keep going to Sproles? They stay away from Matthews? What are they going to do?
Maybe mix it up a little bit. That would be nice, right? I mean, you got all these guys in the backfield, and Sproles is at the point in his career where he can't carry the load. He's a guy that you can't have carrying the ball 15 times a game. He's a guy that you want to only have carrying the ball maybe 5 times a game. You really want to use Sproles out of the backfield as a receiver. And I'm shocked that the Eagles didn't use more of, Ryan Matthews in that Cowboys game. Ryan Matthews is the best running back on this team. So if I'm the Eagles, I use Ryan Matthews as our main back. And then you got to mix in, some Sproles. And I would mix in more of Wendell Smallwood as a runner. I would have Smallwood be the second runner. You have Sproles more of a receiver, maybe get Barner 1 carry a game. But that's how I would divvy it up.
Yeah, use Smallwood, but not on the key drive where you have to go up by 3. You want to go up by 3 scores on first down and come in cold with cold legs. Let's get them warmed up first. Oh man, I wanted to puke. Matthews is, Doug said it says it every week, it seems like. Oh, Matthews is the number one guy. We'll make Sproles in. He'll do what he does. We'll make Wendell and Kenyon. He says the same thing every week. Last week, he proved that he rode the hot hand. So that tells me that no matter what he says, Matthews started last week. So, okay, started with him. Might start with him again, but if he gets bottled up, then and then Sproles starts averaging 5+, 6 yards a carry. We'll ride the hot hand again. Say Smallwood comes in, does the same thing like he did in the Steelers game. Ride him. It's good to have options. So I think that's what we have to do. They all kind of have their own skill sets. Matthews is the biggest, strongest one. Sproles. We know what Sproles can do. He's it was funny watching him again in the Dallas game. It's like I'm like, don't run it. Oh, I hate that call. And then he looks bottled up in the in the trenches, and he just emerges for 7 yards. Sproles is he's incredible, man. At low center of gravity. I think he was running under some of the linemen's legs. But yeah, as far as the running game, I think we'll start with Matthews again, and just his game flow will determine how it goes.
Yeah, the Giants actually have a pretty good run defense. And Sproles is a guy you kind of might want to use in this game because they're very stout at the middle. Damon Harrison, Jonathan Hankins, really good pair of defensive tackles. Now, I'm challenging Jason Pierre-Paul on his fingers. That's what I want to do. I want to run along the edges. So Olivier Vernon, he's okay. I mean, he was really good as a run stuffer last year playing with Ndamukong Suh. But prior to that, he was not really known for his run-stuffing ability. So I think you can attack them on the edges. So I'm looking at Sproles, and I'm looking at maybe Barner, too, getting some more carries this week. Because Smallwood is a guy, he's like a one-cut, right-up-the-middle type of guy. I don't think that's going to work. We'll see about Matthews. I mean, I agree with you, Mike. I think he's the best running back on the team. Obviously, the fumbles are a huge issue, and I think that's why, Doug says he rode the hot hand. I think he's starting to learn how to lie a little bit because he's been lying about some shit recently. So he's learned how to the coach talk at the podium. So he's learning. It's like I just didn't understand why Matthews was getting more carries besides the fumbling. So so that's what I think about that. We'll see. All right, moving on. Another key to this game: getting pressure on Eli Manning. Eagles are third in sacks with 22. The Giants have allowed 11, which is tied for the second fewest in the NFL. So now Eli, the reason why they don't allow a lot of sacks, it's not because their offensive line is good. Their offensive line is trash. Eric Flowers is improving. Marshall Newhouse is their right tackle. But the way they play offense, I mean, they get rid of the ball real quick. So it's not about actually sacking Eli. It's about actually pressuring him and hurrying him. So hitting him, making him scared. So that's how you got to get to Eli. Got to keep incorporating the blitzes. Schwartz has done a great job the last couple weeks getting that going. Rodney McLeod coming on the safety blitz. Jordan Hicks coming up the middle. So I think you got to continue doing that because, I mean, again, you don't want to expose that secondary. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think really especially this last game against the Cowboys, Schwartz has kind of he's found that happy medium for when to bring extra, guys on the blitz. So, and it's working very well. So he's doing a good job. He knows when to just bring pressure with his front four, which they can't get pressure with him, but he also knows when it's time to ramp it up and bring some extra guys on the blitz. So he's found a good happy medium there, and it's been working really well. They did a great job against the Cowboys. It was the first time all season that Dak Prescott kind of looked lost for most of the game. But Prescott kind of rebounded at the end and was able to get the Cowboys the victory. But for the most part, the Eagles did a good job in that game on defense, really kind of showing Prescott different looks, confusing him. Now, I think how this game plan is going to work against the Giants is going to be very similar to the Vikings game against Sam Bradford because Eli Manning is not a guy that's known to be mobile. So Eagles are going to do the same thing. They're going to try to bring the pressure and they're going to try to get Eli Manning off balance early on, try to get Manning to throw off his back foot. When Eli throws off his back foot, that's when the picks come. So I think you're going to see the Eagles really bring the pressure in this game and hopefully rattle Eli early. And if they do that, then the Eli face will come out just like the Bradford face came out. It's that when Bradford gets his glazed eye, that's when you know the game's over. When Eli's face comes out, that's when you know the game is over. So I think that's how the Eagles are going to attack this game.
Oh, yeah, the Sheila Goober face is what I call it. Good old Sheila. It's always good to see him. Jim Schwartz has done a better job in recent weeks, especially he was really successful against the Vikings with the blitz. And there was one drive in particular against Dallas. On a 3-and-out, he blitzed literally 3 times in a row, stopped them. And then, like, when it came to overtime in the fourth quarter, he didn't and let Dak rip us apart. So finding a happy medium is great, but, like, you got to know when I think he should have kept dialing up. If you get beat, you get beat. I mean, we lost the game anyway. So the way they were driving, I don't think he had anything to lose to blitz them. So, hopefully he picks the right spots again. He has shown it be successful. So, he's dialing up right. I like the corner blitzes. I like the safety blitzes, the speed guys off the end. So, hopefully we can pressure Eli. And he does release the ball really quick, but it's about just getting in his face and rattling him. And because, like you guys said, he's not going to go and run for, if it's 3rd and 10, he's most likely not going to run out and slide for that 10 yards. So, just got to get to Eli and get his jersey dirty. Man, that's the key of this game.
Yeah. All right. There's a subject I want to bring up that's going to piss people off, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. So, when are we going to stop making excuses for Dorial Green-Beckham? Seriously. Okay? Let me just throw some stuff at you. Because I swear to God, I have never, every time I bring something up, you guys just rush to your computer. You're like, well, DGB, he's a superstar. Meh. Okay, let me say this. Now, I'm still hopeful. I want him to do well, obviously. But let me just throw some shit at you. Because we hate Nelson Aguilar, right? We hate him. He sucks. He does suck. All right, so DGB's drop rate this season, 9.7%. You know what Nelson Aguilar's was last season? And we crucified him for it? 9.1%. DGB is dropping more passes than Nelson Aguilar did last year. But DGB is a superstar. He's not getting the ball enough. Blah, 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 blah. Runs terrible routes. Now, Nelson Aguilar this season, 1 drop on the season. And that was on Sunday. How about that? Now, they both stink, but DGB, man, stop it with the excuses. He's average, and that's what he is. He's not a superstar. He's not going to be elite. No, he's not a number 1 guy. He's average. And until you guys realize it, it'll be better. Because, I just keep hearing the excuses. You guys are just so hopeful, and you want him to emerge and be that guy, and it may not happen. He is what he is.
I totally agree with you. I mean, geez, if DGB is on a good team, this guy is a 3rd or 4th option, probably a 4th option at best on a really good team. So on our team, he's got to be one of the top options because we got no one else. But I've been impressed with him the past few weeks. He's definitely improved from the beginning of the season, but really with him, I think the best you can expect out of DGB is if you can get 50 yards out of him a game, then that's good. That's what you can expect. Yeah, he's an average guy. He's not going to go out there. He's not going to put up 100-yard games. He's going to drop some passes because he's not that good. And we saw it. He dropped a key pass in that Cowboys game at the 2-yard line. Should have caught it. It's a pass you got to get. So he is what he is. Like you said, he's an average guy. So I don't expect anything spectacular from him. I just expect him to make a catch here and there.
Better than Dennis Kelly, though.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. The Titans wouldn't have just given up on him after 1 year, spending a pretty high pick on him. I think he was a second-round pick, like somewhere in the 40s overall, for Dennis Kelly. They wouldn't have just done that. They've seen what he is. They had enough. Yeah, please don't insult our intelligence, people, by putting him saying, "Oh, he's built like Julio Jones and AJ Green." No,
Wow.
shut up, shut up.
And they call me idiot. They're like, you're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about.
They're holding on to hope just because of his body and his muscles and his leanness and his height. Yeah, great. Sluggish route running, drops, just lack of hustle. He doesn't have that, like, so he don't catch it, right? I remember the one play that got called back a few weeks ago, like, it was like a slant, and then he broke a tackle and then took off, but it got called back on a holding. I think it was the Redskins game. Like, you don't see, even on that broken tackle and run away, like, with open grass ahead, there wasn't, like, a jolt of speed. Like, he was just like, it was like, all right, he takes off at full speed, and it's like he's jogging in place. Like, he just seems just sluggish. I don't know how else to describe it, but average. Yeah. Mike nailed it with, if you get 50 yards and maybe 4 touchdowns on 50 yards a game and maybe 4 touchdowns on the year from him, it's about what he is.
Yeah, and just to clarify on my statement, average is fine. But don't be go saying like he can be a top 20 receiver in the league, top 10 receiver in the league. I don't see it. I just don't. So he's got a vicious stiff arm. I'd still like to see them kind of use him more in the red zone, all that stuff. But, truth is based on perception. And it's like Nelson Aguilar drops 1 ball last week, we crucify him. DGB drops 2 and nothing is said. So see, we at the Bitter Birds, we keep it real. We keep it real. And if you don't like it, whatever, that's fine. But we're always right. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that is really confused me about the whole trade still is that I thought that we were bringing in DGB to be that guy that we're going to run fade routes in the end zone with constantly. Oh, yeah. Because the reason why the Titans got rid of him was because he wasn't learning the route trees. He's not good at running routes. Well, I think we've kind of seen that here in Philadelphia. He struggled with that. So I thought we were going to bring him in. We were going to use his size. We're going to go run fade routes in the end zone this season. Well, we haven't even really seen that. I mean, we haven't even seen it yet in the regular season with him. So that's the part that really confuses me about him is why aren't we using his size to our advantage? Instead, we're trying to play off his weaknesses. His weaknesses aren't running routes. His advantage is going to be, grabbing those fade routes in the end zone. So I think the Eagles really got to try to take advantage of that more because that's how you get his touchdowns. I mean, he's not going to get touchdowns any other way. I mean, look at that Cowboys game. Drop the ball at the 2-yard line. So you can't have that.
But that's okay, though. He can drop that.
I mean, like we said earlier, he's going to be one of our top options because our receivers suck. I mean, he's a starting outside receiver because Matthews is better in the slot, and we have Aguilar and DGB. So that's what we got, and we got to deal with it. I mean, hopefully we can maybe use that Vikings first-round pick and trade up to in the teens, and maybe there's an actual difference maker wide receiver there. That's what I want. So until we can build around Carson with better receivers, we're stuck with DGB. We're stuck with Aguilar. I mean, Aguilar was a first top 20 pick. I mean, 20th overall pick. He's the last of the Chip Kelly face that I see really on our team. And until Aguilar's rookie contract's up, I think we're stuck with him.
Well, Zach Ertz is part of that. You like Zach Ertz?
I like Ertz, but no, he wasn't drafted by Chip. It was 2012.
Mike, clarification. Was he drafted by Chip?
Yeah, Ertz. Yeah, Ertz was it was Chip's first season because I remember I was like
Dwayne Johnson year.
We picked Ertz it was the second round because I didn't want us to get Geno Smith.
Yes, you're right. Yeah,
I was like, thank God we didn't take Geno Smith.
It was 2013. I am mistaken. Well, well, Ertz has sucked all year too. He's been inconsistent.
Come on, baby, make it. No, he doesn't even deserve it right now. Okay, so dude, by the way, we probably just got like 10 dislikes. It's all my fault. Everyone loves DGB. They love him. Okay, just quick point on what you were saying. I wish the draft class this year was as good as the last couple years. Like Mike Williams is a guy that's really good, but he's not going to fall. I mean, I know you want to you said trade up, but like I'd like to keep the picks too.
Sure.
So maybe free agency, Alshon Jeffrey, or maybe a guy like Terrell Pryor. So we shall see. But this goes back to Howie Roseman. Fuck Howie. He had his chance, to sign some guys. Instead, he spends, minimal amount of money on Reuben Randall and Chris Givens. And guess what? Those guys aren't on the team anymore. They didn't even make the fucking team. So that's on Howie. Got too cute. Instead, he wants to sign extensions to guys that may not even need extensions right now. So, whatever. Okay, moving on. Now, we've talked about basically everything except for, how are we going to stop Odell Beckham? That's going to be a chore. But I thought Leotis McKelvin did a good job of battling last week against Dez Bryant. Dez still puts up numbers, 4 receptions for, 111 yards, whatever it was. And that touchdown. 114? Yeah. So, going to have to combat him. But I think they should be able to stop the running game. I would hope so. They are last in yards per game. Giants are last in yards per game. I believe they are like 29th or 30th. I forget where it was in the yards per carry. Rashad Jennings is averaging
last. They're last.
Well, they're not last.
They're last in yard.
They're last in
per carry.
Yards per carry.
Yeah, per carry.
Yeah,
right. Their running game is horrible.
Yeah, Rashad Jennings is averaging like 2.7 yards per carry. So that's not good. But, then again, we gave up how many yards to Matt Jones and Rob Kelly. So, hopefully they'll be all right.
Yeah, well, I mean, how do we stop their offense? I mean, it's pretty simple. You prevent the big play. I mean, look at that Cowboys game. Why did the Cowboys end up beating us? Because they were able to make big plays down the field. If the Eagles even go back, you look early on in that Cowboys game, first quarter, if the Eagles are able to prevent that big throw, the Dez Bryant down the field, maybe things are different. The big plays have killed us all season, and it's really killed the defense all season. So, especially with Odell Beckham, I mean, look at him this season. The guy has changed so many games around. The Giants probably should have lost that Ravens game. Instead, Odell Beckham does some amazing things down the stretch. Giants are able to pull it out. So it's all about limiting the big plays with the Giants, especially when they have a guy like Odell Beckham. And this is actually, just thought about this, but this might be a game where they try to get Jalen Mills in Odell Beckham's head. Because Jalen Mills is a guy who
covered him.
Right? Squawker. They're going to be squawking.
They'll be going after each other. But Jalen...
Buckwheat versus the Green Goblin.
I mean, Jalen Mills is a guy, he's not going to back down. So we've seen it already. So he's got a lot of confidence. So, but yeah, Odell Beckham, main thing, if you can get into his head, he'll be going over. He'll be kicking the kicker's kicking net. So you got to get in his head. But yeah, big thing is they got to limit the big plays. And I think the defense should be fine if they can do that.
I think Jim Schwartz will, have a good game plan to attack their offense. As far as the running game goes, it stinks. Rashad Jennings is average. I think they're going to mix in a little bit of a rookie named Paul Perkins this week.
Yeah, they've been crying for him in New York.
Kind of an out of the backfield, catch passes, kind of that kind of guy, which has hurt us, Riddick and such. So that's, I think, something the Giants are going to do on offense. Because what we should do against Beckham is, besides getting in his head, is, bracket him, have a safety help, things like that. That's what I would do. That's what I hope, Schwartz is game planning obviously for it. So get in Manning's face, whether it's a hand, just get him on the ground. Just make his jersey dirty. Get him hit him. Let's see that Eli Goober face. And I think we got a good chance this weekend.
Yeah, and if you can stuff the running game, what happens is, then you can really start getting after the quarterback. So, you can just kind of plug in and just worry about getting after the quarterback a little bit more if they can't run the ball. So that's the way I look at that too. All right, so we'll do predictions for the game. So what are you guys thinking? Are they going to win? Can they move to 5-3?
Yeah, I think that we're going to win this game because of our defense. I think the team is going to come out fired up. Especially after such an emotional loss to the Cowboys. The Eagles know this, and we know it, but the Eagles can't afford to fall to 0-3 in the division. This is just such a big game for the Eagles. And, we see this as fans, but looking ahead, that the Cowboys in 2 weeks are playing the Steelers in Pittsburgh. So that's very likely could be a loss for the Cowboys. So if the Eagles want to keep pace with those Cowboys in the NFC East, they got to win a game like this against the Giants in New York. It would be huge for the Eagles, especially trying to get their division record back up there. So I think that the defense really dominates in this one for us. I think that we come away with a pick or two, might even get a defensive touchdown. So I think that our offense is going to struggle a little bit, but I think that Carson will be able to guide us. He'll play mistake-free football, and I've got the Eagles winning this one 20-10.
All right. I got the Eagles winning as well. I think Eli and the Giants, over a week off, I played 2 weeks ago in London. We're coming off that emotional loss, all the drama this week. I think we are going to be fired up. And I think the Giants will come out slow. And we shall do the opposite. And I see us building an early lead and something like 17-3 and not relinquishing it. I think we win 27-17.
Wow, so you guys are confident. See, it's funny because I had this penciled in as a win until I started doing my preview for Philly Influencer, and now I'm like, oh man, this game might be a little bit tougher than we might think. Now I've got the Eagles winning too, but like by a field goal. I forget what I think I put like 26-23, something like that. But yeah, they've won their last 4 against the Giants, 13 of their last 16. But it is a new regime for both teams. New coaches, Ben McAdoo on the Giants, Doug Peterson obviously here, roster changes. They signed like everybody in free agency. So it'll be interesting. And a point that I forgot to make earlier, because, their cornerbacks are really, really aggressive. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, Janoris Jenkins. And if Doug is as predictable as he was last week, they're going to take one of those goddamn slant passes, intercept it, and take it to the goddamn house. So they better be careful, I'm sick and tired of screens. Slants, that's fine, whatever. That's what they like to run on third down. Wentz seems to put the ball on the money, on the numbers. So, yeah, that's that. But, yeah, I got 20 – I think I said 26-23. Whatever I said in my preview, that's what I got. So, I don't think it's going to be easy by any means, but they'll probably win by 30. So, yeah, no miracle at the Meadowlands 45 in this one. So, there. All right, let's see. Final thoughts, unless you guys got anything else to say.
Yeah, final thoughts. Well, at least Ben McAdoo wasn't our coach because there was a time when we were interviewing him to possibly be our head coach. And he's a guy, when you look at him, you think he's a guy that Chris Hansen would walk into the room and say, well, Ben.
It's like a bucket of mayonnaise.
Why don't you take a seat? Why don't you take a seat right over there?
He definitely needs his sunscreen on the fucking beach, man. He's pale as shit.
He's constantly got that chart in his face. Ben McAdoo. He doesn't seem to ever talk to his players or his other coaches. It's just straight up like here you go. Okay. Yep. Got it. Yep. All right. Let's play. Eli, do better. Like it's just he's not like he doesn't seem like a player's coach at all. I don't see any kind of like demeanor from him or emotion from him on the sidelines. He's just a blah coach. I don't see him having same success Coughlin did, obviously, in New York. Just come out and be aggressive and let's get an early lead on the road.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, he seems like he's like more of an offensive guy, more of a coordinator type. It seems like he's smart, dude, schematically. But, yeah, in terms of leading a team, whatever. But I also have some doubts about Doug Peterson, too. So we shall see what happens. But hopefully Doug starts learning his lessons. So there's that. Mike, did you want to say anything else before we go?
No, I think we're good. And I think that Doug, it was a positive step for him to release Josh Huff. I think that was a step in the right direction. I think when we look at Doug Peterson, we kind of see him as like a softer type of guy. So I think that this was a stance that he needed to take, and he needed to put his foot down and say, look, this isn't going to happen on our team. And I think that actually Peterson kind of took a leader step role by releasing Josh Huff. So hopefully he's going to go back now and look at that Cowboys game and realize that he made a lot of mistakes in his play calling, and hopefully he learns from it and he doesn't have a big enough ego to keep running the same stuff. So hopefully he changes it up.
Yeah, I agree completely. And it's going to be a learning loss. It's his worst game coached as a rookie head coach. Can only learn from it. Don't make the same mistake twice. That's what, as the saying goes.
I don't want to hear that shit on Sunday, though. I don't want to hear that, well, we'll learn from – no. Win the fucking game, damn it.
Well, we'll win on Sunday.
Better fucking win. God damn it. All right, Mike Owens, Jeremy Burton, I'm Adrian Fedq. Don't hate me because I hate DGB right now. My bad. Peace.
Go Birds.
Yeah. Go DGB. He's going to put up 200. Reverse psychology.